I'm Emad again. This is my second testimony, which is my experience being a Christian, a believer. I did my previous testimony is how I became a Christian and how I gave my life to Christ. That was a blessing. An experience of me getting led by the Holy Spirit. I was supposed to go to work that morning. It was a Monday morning. Normally I don't sit in the car. I don't heat up my car or anything. I just turn on the ignition and start driving, but Holy Spirit actually spoke to me and says, you know what, you need to sit at least a minute or two and just pray for the day to start. So I sat down while the engine was running and everything. And then I was praying to God, give me a better day, make things easier, a good prayer. So I sat down, and then I sat down for like another minute, just relaxing. I said, okay, maybe I'll let the engine heat up a little bit. And so I started driving, and on Coal Creek Way, going down the hill, and all of a sudden I see a car speeding down, coming towards me. And then he was like going left and right, and then comes into my lane, and then spins out and crashes into another car and then goes into the ditch. So I'm like, wow. If I was a second earlier, I would have been in that accident. I was like, wow, thank God. God is great. God is real. That got me out of a situation that I could have been in. I could have been killed in that accident because he was going really fast. When I first came to church with Jackie, before I became a believer, she invited me over. I come over and I see you laying hands on people, and I'm like, this is not right. People just falling, because he's pushing them, because of that wall, like it blocks you not believing anything. That day I came, and then I gave my life to Christ. I'm already a believer. Pastor Laus laid hand on me, and the first one I just felt, I didn't feel anything. I just fell, I felt good. And then the second time, it was a revival night on Friday. It's just that night, it felt so good. I felt good to be there, and I was so happy. I got off work. I'm not tired when I got to church. I am so going. And I said, I'm ready. So Pastor Laus laid hand on me, and actually he was preaching about the fire, how the fire starts here, and you feel it, and you gotta listen to it. So I was like, I think about 30 seconds, and then I start feeling burning right in here. It was burning so deep, and I was like, it wasn't hurting, but it felt good. And then all of a sudden, like it started like slowly going down to my legs. It started going down, and I felt like I was floating. I did not even feel that I was standing on the ground. Everything, I felt like flying. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I'm still floating, and then I was happy, laughing. All I hear, Pastor was like, just laugh it out, don't hold it in. So I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, this is great, I love it. And I woke up, I was like, wait, how come I'm on the ground? It felt so good. So I'm like, I got up, and then after, I don't know how long I was passed out, but all I know, it wasn't long enough. I wanted more. So I got up, I was like, maybe I go stand over there, and then Pastor Laus can lay another hand on me, and then I want to feel the same experience. It was great. It was one of the best things. The next day I went to work. Friday night I got laid hand on, and Holy Spirit was so strong. The next day I go to work, and then a customer of mine was like, I think he was my second customer. He was sitting down, he's like, for some reason I feel the Holy Spirit is really strong here. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I can feel it, and then I think we should talk about it. And that's when I mentioned to him my church, and I was like, hey, where I go, Pastor Laus, he's the truth. Like, he's preaching the right word, he's laying hands. I mean, if you really want to experience the Holy Spirit and the fire of God, this is a place to be in. And so then he shared his testimony, and he told me when he was touched by the Holy Spirit and God revealed to him when he was 9 years old, and then his tears would start coming down, and he told me his testimony. So, and I was like, wow, I am blessed to hear that, and I'm blessed to tell you that the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ is real, and there's nothing on this earth will tell me Jesus Christ is not real. I was like, you know what? You can believe that, but I believe what I believe, and that's the story of it. So before, I was like, kind of like get angry at people, you know, when I'm driving. Honestly, like, I don't do it in front of my wife, but I do it when my wife is not with me. I try to hold it in when she's with me because I don't want to scare her. You know, I told Jackie, I said, you know what? Ever since I got to know Jesus Christ, a lot of things start happening that I can tell is the devil that is forcing me to get angry. But every time something happens, or somebody cuts me off, or somebody said something mean to me, that I just said, you know what? I'm not that person anymore. I got Jesus Christ. I got God, that He will deal with that evilness out there. I'm just going to leave it up to God. It's not going to be my call anymore to fight them back. So I personally, I think I became a lot patient, a lot, better person. God is guiding me, and I'm letting it happen. So.